And in a pot back here on the stove, I have got some pumpkin simmering in liquid. Now, boil, simmer, poach are three different things. A lot of people think if you put something in liquid to cook on the stove that you should always boil it at a fast boil. But let me show you what's going on in the pot here. Pumpkin simmering in liquid, and what you'll notice about the liquid is that there's hardly any motion to the liquid at all. That it's not large bubbles floating all around, busting the stuff up. This is a soft simmer or a poach. What I want to do is strain the liquid from the pumpkin that I've poached that's nice and soft. And that soft simmer, I don't want to throw that liquid down the drain because it's a flavorful liquid. Here's my pumpkin that I have simmered, and the liquid I'll return back to the pan, lower that heat a little bit, because now that's a flavorful liquid. That's a pumpkin stock in essence. Next thing I want to do is take this pumpkin, and I'm going to do the same type of thing to it. We're going to mash it up really good, puree it so that it's smooth. So I'm back to my Cuisinart. Remember, the pumpkin cooked in a moist fashion. Again, simmered. And the difference between boil, simmer, poach, I said it before, big difference. Not everything moist cooking in the kitchen is pedal to the metal. As fast as it'll boil, as loud as it'll go. You should not be boiling anything. Maybe your socks or sanitizing water during a natural disaster. That's about the only reason I can think of to boil something in the kitchen. It's simmered or poached, and when you can adjust and control heat in a moist cooking method, you're really talking about something. Here's our pumpkin cooked in a moist method. Back in our puree, Cuisinart, food processor, whatever you want to call it. Where's the lid? Up that goes. We're going to turn that into something really smooth. And actually, this is going to be a baking method. And baking, of course, is a dry method. The difference between roasting and baking, this is a question asked of me also often. Roasting, thank you. Roasting really refers to meats, poultry, birds, game, things like that. Baking more refers to pastries, fish, fruits of that matter. Now, they're used interchangeably because you have baked ham and you have baked potato. So it's a matter of not being a stickler about it, but the cooking method is really roasting for meats and items, baking for other things like that. And in my pumpkin puree, I'm going to crack one egg. There we go. And I got about half a cup of brown sugar that I'm going to add to that. Alright, once I bring all those ingredients together, what I have here is a little tart shell that I've put some tart pastry in. We're going to make a little pumpkin tart. And in baking, which is part of the Pro Methods module of web cooking classes, in baking we learn that eggs are a tremendous thing. The protein in eggs, they bind things, they give color in baking. And when you learn the binding agents in eggs, then you can start making any kind of tart you want, even using squash at the holidays. So my spatula is over here, and I'm going to go ahead with my pumpkin puree, which has been sweetened with brown sugar and bound with an egg, and load it into my tart shell. In the oven it goes. Our pumpkin tart, simply by knowing the thickening powers of egg and brown sugar and cooking pumpkin in a moist cooking method, pureeing it.